Sound?
Yep.
You are now listening to sport. No sound?
Oh.
Winston.
Bruh. I never do this.
You're now listening to Sport Champs.
What is up, you guys? The Street Champs exclusive sports channel. Waiting for it to end. All right, so it's episode 41. I got Deryk to my left. I got Winston in the cut. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Living good, man. Living good. I'm excited to be on Sport Champs. Feel like I never get to speak my piece on sports. You guys never want me on here, which is fine.
Damn, that's how you feel?
Just kidding.
Nah, it's not like that. As y'all have noticed, our boy Rick G is a little tardy. He's OT dub. We'll see him soon, hopefully. But in the meantime, let's get into these this NBA news.
Hell yeah. So as everyone knows, Nuggets made it to the NBA Finals. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Let's get
shout out the NBA Finals.
Get some sound.
Shout out
this.
the Nuggets. Oh man, he is struggling back there. With the
Okay, it's your court, Derek. Back up.
it totally is the core too.
Yeah, it is. All right. Anyway, but yeah, Nuggets. First time they've made it to the NBA Finals. As a Nuggets fan, lifetime Nuggets fan, it's been great. We swept the Lakers, which is fucking crazy. But I'm just so proud of Jokic and Murray. And Murray's come back from ACL, been out of basketball for like 2 years. He's like he didn't put the squad on his back, but we wouldn't have been able to win without him.
He definitely carried weight.
Undoubtedly. Oh, for sure.
He was an invaluable asset.
Yeah, Jokic won Finals MVP or Western Conference Finals MVP, which I'm not mad at, but there's a debate.
Didn't I not say this last episode?
Yeah, should Murray win it? Now, I have no issue with Jokic winning it. He averaged a triple-double, totally deserves it. But Murray played really, really well, and he went in when we needed him. He played great. So
one thing that I think is both awesome and kind of backhanded at the same time. So the general sports media is now finally giving Jokic his flowers.
Yeah.
Which is like awesome, because this is what like we've been saying for the past 2 years. Like you and I and like Josh, when we're in like Discord chat and we're watching games and we're talking about how many times have we done our top 5 and Jokic has never left the top 2 in the past like 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that being said, for him to finally get his flowers, the sad part, the backhanded part that I wanted to address is this man had to average a triple-double and sweep the Lakers to get his flowers.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's like it. One, are you serious that he was even capable of doing that? Like he's approaching a mountain of non-American-born players that are like, I would say the top of that mountain is Hakeem Olajuwon, and he's looking right at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Best centers all time.
Not best center, just as like he's edging into that conversation, but I would say more so like best foreign-born player of all time.
Got you. Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
He surpassed Deryk, in no discredit to Deryk, and Deryk is amazing, one of the best stretch fours of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people are now considering Jokic the best player in the NBA, which is great.
What argument do you have to say that he isn't?
I mean, Giannis was that prior to Jokic, and Giannis, he got injured in the playoffs. You know, I mean, we can speculate and say if he wasn't injured, would they have gone farther? Probably. Would they be in the Eastern Conference Finals right now? Probably, but he's not. And so
exactly.
Jokic has taken the reins as of that. Now, is this recency bias? We'll see.
It is a little bit.
It is, and we all fall into that. But Jokic is a great player. I'm so lucky that the Nuggets have him. And I'm really excited for the future. I think he's like 28, 29, so he's still got a lot of good years on him. So I'm just really, really glad. This does bring up the topic you talked about a little bit. How much longer does he have to have this continued success to where he is the best center of all time?
I mean,
because best centers of all time, we got Kareem, we got Hakeem, we have Shaq, exactly.
They're all amazing in different ways.
Yeah.
Like a good comparison, like Shaq I don't know if Shaq has ever Shaq probably had a triple-double with like blocks or steals before he got it with passing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't even know if he ever had. I don't think he ever had a triple-double.
Triple-doubles doesn't make you the greatest of all time, but one thing worth mentioning is Jokic just passed Wilt for most triple-doubles via center all time, and he did it in Game 7.
Yep, and that brings up a good point. I think he's already better than Wilt Chamberlain, personally.
Easy. And there's no disrespect to Wilt. I mean, Wilt was one of the pioneers that like found like the game is really like championed from, but at the same time, it was just a different era. His opposition as to who he had to play against was not what it is today. He was towering over everybody. Now, granted, he had that undeniable shot. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knew that if you get him in the paint, he was just going to back it up and then just throw it up. And no one was tall enough to stop that.
Yeah.
The thing about Jokic is he'll back it up in the paint, and if he doesn't throw it up, he's going to dish it to someone with such accuracy. Like, we're talking like some of the best accuracy in the league.
Yeah.
And he's a center. Like, pass first center, we've never seen this before.
Yep. And he's the best center in the league.
Not even close.
Best passer in the league, and he can score. But the cool thing is that he doesn't want to score. He wants to set up his teammates and pass to them. And so that's why Jamal Murray and Jokic are such a great duo. A lot of people would argue the best duo in the league, and that's hard to debate right now. And so Jokic makes everyone better, and that's what great players do.
But yeah, that's irrefutable. Like, his plus-minus when he's on versus off the court is just outstanding. Like, it's like plus, like on the series, his plus minus, or like I think it was Jamal Murray's plus minus was like plus like 157 on the court or something crazy. Now that's over the 4 games combined. But still, that's insane. Hey, welcome back, bud.
Look who it is.
Well, look who it is.
Dude, I hate that there's no rain down here at all.
It was
There's
dumping.
literally nothing.
It was dumping on the north side when I drove over here.
Yeah.
I got hailed on. I couldn't even see in front of me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
And I am here now.
So to get you back up to pace, we're talking about how the Nuggets are now in the NBA Finals for the first time ever.
Crazy.
Speaking to Jokic's
Go Nugs.
Jokic's greatness, and we're just kind of like both pointing fun at the aha that like Jokic has done all these great things and he's just now getting recognition, as well as what is it going to take? What sustained amount of success is required of him to make him like best center of all time conversation?
Yeah.
Guy.
So, like, if you're going to compare it from, like, an athletic perspective, because, like, we mentioned Shaq.
I mean, has anybody ever done what he's done in the playoffs this year?
Not with triple doubles, no.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, not with triple doubles. But that doesn't mean that you're the best.
If he did it again, then it would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. So, I mean, I think the centers in front of him right now, Kareem. It's going to be really hard to pass up Kareem.
I mean, yeah.
And then you have Hakeem, which I think he's really close to, and then Shaq. A big debate right now is Jokic as dominant as
Jokic
Shaq
has way
was?
better free throws than Shaq.
He does have better free throws. But
he's better offensively in terms of versatility, but Shaq's athleticism was, like, the best probably center ever-wise.
Yeah.
So that's, like, flowers you can never take away from Shaq.
He's also gigantic.
Same thing. Another example. Hakeem is... There's 3 I always like to use this as a awesome little stat because it makes me happy, I guess. But Hakeem is one of 3 players to win MVP and DPOY in the same year. It goes Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and as of recently, it was Giannis. That's it. Now, again, does that make Giannis an all-timer? No, but being the best defender in the league and the most valuable player in the league is some, like, like GOAT stuff, if you will.
yeah, Jokic isn't great on. He's not like an all-time great on defense.
No.
And versus Shaq was, and he was dominant in the paint on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have his flaws? Of course, he couldn't pass great, and he couldn't shoot free throws, and so those were his flaws. Jokic's flaws is his defense, but it's not like a liability.
And the state of the league, like the physicality of the league that they allow, because they kind of promote scoring, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, Jokic couldn't get away with being as physical as Shaq did if he wanted to. You know what I mean? If he took all of his energy and decided that he wanted to go do that, he would incur a lot of fouls because of the current state of the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I think Shaq might be more dominant in today's NBA because there's no one
can touch him.
There's no one that can guard Jokic, and if there's no one that can physically match up with Jokic, then there's no one in the league could deal with Shaq. I mean, he is 300 pounds, super athletic. Like, no one would be able to deal with that. So, but, you know, who would have dominated in what era? Like, that's a hypothetical.
What if. What we do know is who's dominating in this era, and right now it's Jokic.
Exactly. So, for me, I got 3 centers ahead of him right now. It's Hakeem, Shaq, and Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's passed up every Bill Russell. That one's a tough one. I got Bill Russell ahead of Jokic just because of the 6 rings.
Mm-hmm.
But if Jokic can get a ring, then that puts him a little bit closer. Which
him getting a ring is like the equivalent of more than one ring because this is a first ring ever in that organization.
Yep.
That is something like if they don't build a Jokic statue, I will be let down.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully it's like a 2-person statue, like it's a dribble handoff statue with Jamal Murray and Jokic. That'd be sick. We got a good question in the chat. Ben Franklin asked, Nuggets Nation, baby, who would y'all rather have the Nuggets play? So who do you think? I'll answer last. Who do you think the Nuggets would rather have if you were the Nuggets?
That's kind of almost like a coin flip in a weird way because the way I see it, Boston is much more talented than Miami. So I would much less rather go against Boston. But Boston is struggle busting it right now. And other than these last 2 games that Miami has allowed Boston to come back on, Miami and Jimmy Butler has looked like just unguardable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's the easier answer, really, because you have the potential of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in like Marcus Smart and company versus the potential of Jimmy Butler and all those role players, you know. But all those role players know their role. So it's a weird thing. Like Miami looks potent right now. I would probably rather go against Miami just because of the talent perspective, but Eric Spoelstra is a way better coach.
Yeah.
And he's gonna adjust.
Yeah, I'd rather go against the Heat personally because it's like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and that's like
it's been a hard fight with all them too.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Lately.
And because Miami's on the downturn, Celtics are on the upturn. Like, and I don't want to face Celtics firing.
They need
on
to
all
win,
cylinders.
bro. What is happening? Come on.
They're firing on all
series.
cylinders right now.
Did you see that snippet from when the Heat played the Nuggets and I want to say Bam was like rubbing shoulders with Aaron Gordon or whatever? And he's just like, he called him a bitch, and he's just like, my room number's 387 or some shit.
Oh, yeah, I think that was in the bubble, I think.
Oh.
I think.
Regardless, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, a little bit of back and forth. Like, I don't know, Aaron Gordon played pretty well for you guys. Like,
oh, yeah.
He wasn't hiking up a bunch of unnecessary shots. Like, I don't know. It goes to show coming off of last year, watching the Warriors beat the Nugs to this year, having Jamal Murray back, and then MPJ playing well. It allowed everyone to kind of like know the role because let's face it, when like Jokic managed to beat the former year NBA champions in one game with like Campazano, and that was about it.
And I don't even know if he's in the league right now.
That's
Austin Rivers, which is a backup point guard, like
that's what I'm saying. So that just goes to show like how like just potent that Jokic is, the Nuggets are, how important that Jamal Murray is, how important MPJ has been. MPJ has played really well. He, again, another guy that like typically kind of has a hot hand when it matters, but sometimes when the ball's not in his hand, he tends to like brick a little bit, and he hasn't really been doing that. He's been shooting well. Yep. I haven't noticed a weakness to exploit on the Nuggets right now. Like,
yeah, I mean, our defense is our paint presence is a little lacking. But Jokic doesn't want to pick up those fouls, and then if
see how scratched up he be getting?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then
every series, bro.
If you go for the block, then it's really hard to get the rebound. Like it can happen, but if you're going all out for a block, then most of the time you're going to be out of position for a board. And Jokic always wants to get that board and push the pace. Even if they make a basket, he's pushing the pace because that's what they love to do, and that's what they wanted to do against the Lakers. Now, the Nuggets played really well. And I think the Lakers played really well, too. It was a sweep, but every single game was close as fuck.
The Lakers lost. It was like 4, 8, 6, and 10 or something like that.
Exactly. They were close-ass games. Game 4, LeBron worked his ass off, dropped 31 points, I believe, in the first half.
Yeah, he went off.
He went in. He played every single minute of the game. Couldn't sustain that through 3 and 4 quarters.
Missed 4 seconds. He went out 4 seconds early for halftime.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's some shit. Now, what do they do in the offseason?
Yeah.
Is the real question. Immediately he's getting attraction news to Kyrie, and I don't think anybody sees that happening.
Well, I mean, he said he might retire. Do I think he's going to retire? No, I think he's just really pissed at Anthony Davis for not showing the fuck up. I think he's like,
that's
bro,
fair.
I'm 38 years old and I'm carrying your ass, bro. Like, pick some
doing?
Shit up. Exactly, bro. Like, he's doing good, but he's not.
LeBron's better. Your mic cord is, or my shit is choppy over here. Actually, I don't know.
I don't hear any chop.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I mean, Anthony
That shit's
Davis needs to
choppy.
pick it up. He's supposed to be better than LeBron at this point, and he's not. So he's got to figure it out. So if I'm LeBron, I'm trying to leave as well because like that shit's whack. Now, if they trade him, where does he go? Allegedly, he might go to the Warriors.
We were like second or third, I saw, on the trending teams to acquire him.
Yeah, exactly. How would you feel if LeBron went to the Warriors, Dave, as a Warriors fan?
I mean, if we got LeBron, that would probably imply that we're losing Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and probably Clay as well. Because I think they would try to keep.
Something happened with these.
I think he would try to keep Draymond at best. Because let's face it, Draymond, Steph, and Bron, that would be a pretty decent tandem. The only problem is that's old tandem. That's really old tandem. Like if all those three were playing more than like 34 minutes a game.
It's not the headphones. It's something over there.
No, I was listening over there fine with these ones.
No, it just happened. I heard him jiggle something over there, and it fucked everything up.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Or it was my
But-
foot.
I mean, I would be really enthusiastic to have LeBron on my team, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. And
Yeah.
like I said, we are already really lean on depth. That's why Curry. Oh, pardon me. You're good. That's why Curry had to play as many minutes as he did. He played like 38 minutes a game, which at 35 years old, that's asking a lot, especially
Got
coming
it.
from a point guard who
It was
runs.
my foot, I think.
He sets like records in the NBA for
Wires.
the amount of miles he runs up and down the court because of the way he's off ball present. So
Yeah.
I'll be down, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I don't think
Where
it's happening
else is
either,
he
but-
trending to go?
I don't fucking know, dude. I think Lakers or Warriors are the most likely out of all the teams. But if you have Draymond and LeBron, the spacing is going to be trash. Draymond can't shoot with the shit, and then LeBron obviously can't shoot with the shit. In the finals or Western Conference Finals, he was shooting like shit. Other than the last game, I think he was shooting like 20% from the field, from 3-point range. So I don't know if that would be the best, but I'm just glad the Nuggets won. And then I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm not a Lakers fan, so I want him to be good, and I think he played well. Some games he struggled, but
Yeah. Without getting too ahead of ourselves on the NBA, there's an NBA news that was a potential. The NBA was considering some type of flopping rule
Yeah,
where
I saw that.
they would award like a technical free throw for that, and the way we might see that in real time is at G League, or not G League. I'm sorry, the Summer League.
Yeah.
We might get to see that this summer. I'm curious because I will agree that a lot of NBA players will flop to their advantage. Now, granted, it's sometimes they do it to try to like inflate the likelihood of their call will get made on a legitimate foul, and sometimes you see those like ghost fouls or the phantom fouls, like not trying to put LeBron on a hot seat, but he's always a victim of those videos, when you're
Yeah.
that popular and polarizing, everyone's gonna like magnify every time you do it. So
Yeah.
LeBron is a big victim of being like the only one who's like, look, he's such a flopper, but let's be honest, everyone flopped. Like
yeah,
Curry does it.
I think
Fucking
it's
Devin Booker does it. James Harden, they had to change a rule because of his flopping abilities.
yeah,
Russell Westbrook, like
it's way too subjective. Like, what is flopping? Like, you're telling me they're gonna pause the game, go to the booth, and be an instant replay, and be like, oh, this guy was flopping. Like, bro, like it's gonna slow down the game. I know you're trying to get rid of flopping, and I totally agree.
Yep.
There's a way to do it. Like, fine them or something, but don't give someone a technical foul, disrupt the rhythm of the game, just to try and prevent flopping. It's stupid and it's super subjective, and it's just I don't know.
I'm curious though, are they gonna award it on like people who are going for and ones where the flop was completely unnecessary, or is it gonna be like the moments where like people get tangled up, like when Draymond would try to be like box out, or like that moment when LeBron and Aaron Gordon were kind of boxing one another and LeBron like shoved him or whatever. Let's
Yeah.
say in that moment a flop occurs. Like obviously, no offense, I think that should have been a technical foul all over it.
Should have been a flagrant.
They
yeah,
did
for sure.
they did double text, which was confusing because I was like, what did Gordon do? Like
Gordon
Gordon was like jumping to try to go for what he assumed was going to be a rebound. He accidentally flicked LeBron's beard, which is not like it wasn't an inorganic motion. He wasn't just kind of like slapping.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, that was yours.
Yeah. But anyway, he then gets tangled up with LeBron, and LeBron like shoves him in the face. If you're not LeBron James in that series, or like I don't know, like if it was, I feel like if Jokic did that, they might have like suspended him a game just to be like an example.
I don't know if they would have suspended him, but definitely a flagrant. He definitely 100% should have got a flagrant. Gordon didn't do anything that crazy.
No.
Like, it was. I thought that was bullshit, but
I thought LeBron was a big instigator in that moment. And,
Oh,
like
for
I was
sure.
even on the Discord chat, like, what? Like, how are they gonna give double text about what did Gordon do?
Yeah, no, that was whack.
But if in those moments, like, but not necessarily like the altercation would be moments, but those like off ball, box out, and then someone flops, maybe they start calling those.
Yeah,
Because they're like, this is just hurting the fluidity of the game, and it's hurting the product.
yeah,
You can't outlaw flopping, though.
facts. All right, let's get into the Celtics Heat series.
Yes.
So Heat won games 1 through 3. Heat won. It was very close, but they did win. And the last 2 games, the Celtics have won. We have Game 6 in Miami tomorrow night, Saturday night, 6:30, our Mountain Time. Who do y'all think is gonna win?
I mean, how close was the last game?
I thought Miami was going to win the last game, and they got their asses kicked.
So they're out there starting point guard. Their
what?
starting point guard was injured.
Oh, okay.
He was out for the game. He may miss this game as well. They lost by 13 points.
Oh, that's not that significant.
They were down all
The
game.
Heat-
They were down all game.
The Heat should win, but Boston, I think, is almost in the driver's seat right now.
They have momentum.
So Dave, if you guessed who was the 2 leading scorers for the Celtics, who would you guess?
The 2 leading scorers
For
for
the
the Celtics?
Celtics.
You would assume Tatum and Brown.
They were not. So it was Marcus Smart and Deryk White were the leading scorers for the Celtics last night.
Shout out Deryk White.
They had 4 people. Yeah, he played basketball for UCCS in Springs.
Yep.
They had 4 people score 20 points or more. So like their role players just stepped the fuck up, shot lights out. I mean, it's hard to win when your role players are playing that well. And in the last game, not this last game, but the game before that, it was Grant Williams and Al Horford shot crazy from 3. So if those guys don't show up, then the Heat may win that game. Jimmy Butler had like 15 points. He didn't do shit really.
Yeah.
So it was, and they had like 18 turnovers. The Heat.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they didn't play
What is
well at
happening?
all. Yeah, so I mean, I think the Heat are gonna win. My prediction was Heat in 6. So I think the Heat win. If the Heat do not win in Game 6, Celtics probably
They're
taking
gonna
it Game
take-
7
yeah.
because all the momentum is gonna be going their way. Jimmy Butler hasn't done shit since Game 1. I think Game 1 he dropped 40 points.
He's got to be tired, bro.
And hasn't done shit since. Yeah, I thought he was. I mean, he can carry a game though. I mean, he just needs to like boss
it
up.
up.
Boss up.
He's done this against like better teams many times. Like how many times has he beat Giannis in the NBA postseason?
Yeah, I mean this season, he carried the squad. He injured his ankle. A lot of people are saying that he might be hurt.
Is
But
Tyler Hero back now?
he is not. Some people are saying he might be back by the finals.
Okay.
But he's not coming back this series.
I mean, he's like a true role player. I don't think he puts them over the top, but he's a pretty accurate shooter. So
He's a good scorer, and that's what they were lacking last night. I mean, Caleb Martin, an undrafted guy, was the scorer when Jimmy Butler didn't have the ball. It was like they would run a play, it wouldn't work, and then Caleb Martin would have the ball and be like, I guess I got to drive and put something up because that's how it was bad. Celtics
Jeez.
defense is locking up.
Damn.
They're stepping up.
is,
So
is Robert Williams playing?
Robert Williams is playing, yes.
Shout out Robert Williams,
Yeah,
not
he's-
the comedian, but the center.
Yeah, he's playing pretty good.
He was
Bert
injured.
Williams, dude.
He was injured in the NBA Finals last year, and that was a real key thing that allowed the Warriors to like get bored and win that series. So, I think him being healthy, like against the Nuggets, he's not stopping Jokic, but he's going to contest for boards.
Yeah.
And that's the type of conversations we got to start thinking about.
Yeah. I would way rather play the Heat than the Celtics.
Throw me one of those headphones. I want to see something.
Also, I think that
'Cause it's like it only like chops out when you talk. It's weird.
so some people will argue like the fresher team has an advantage. Some people will say like when you sit for extended periods that could like that could not benefit you. But from what we've noticed is the Nuggets were the only team in the West that got to wait for their opponent, and then they got to see the Lakers. And what was that, 4 games straight? So
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I think is of key detail is that first half of Game 1.
Yeah,
How you guys went up like 21 points, and then the Lakers
Yeah,
started to reel it back
It's a wire
in.
somewhere. It ain't the headphones. Weird.
Lame. But basically, that little tiny recipe where the Lakers put up like 72 in that half, that's the recipe that any team's going to pray to pull from.
Yeah.
And the far cry of putting up 72 points in a half on any given game to beat the Nuggets is very seldom. And it's like they're going to be in, Boston if Boston wins for the first 2, and then in Denver if Miami wins?
Yep. So if
Okay.
Miami wins, we have home field advantage. If Boston wins, then they have home field advantage. So
I would be shocked if the Nuggets lose any home games in the finals. I'd be shocked.
I mean, the Celtics are good. I mean, I think if we go against the Heat, I think we win in 5.
Ball Arena will never be a more volatile environment in the history of Denver.
Yeah.
The Avs. Okay, so it's going to be a repeat of the Avs. And think about how that feels. Denver's got a lot of championship DNA right now that they're going to be able to pull from, and it's basketball. Basketball gets way more eyes than hockey. Unfortunately, I think hockey deserves way more eyeballs than it gets. That being said, Denver should have their nose in the air when it comes to sports.
Think about it. Nobody in Colorado gives a fuck about the NHL finals right now.
Well, it's because
no one watched it. No one cares.
Yeah.
Because the Avs aren't there.
Yeah.
But the Nugs are
straight champ.
This
it's
is
different with
huge.
basketball.
Like, I mean, so I obviously, like, was it Josh was telling you trying to go to McGregor Square and catch it? So I mean, if possible, I'm trying to go to that. I don't know how that's going to work scheduling wise, but I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
The city will it'll be a riot, bro.
I'm trying to go if we have like a clinching game to win the NBA Finals. That'd be fun
as fuck.
Like Game 5.
Like Game 5.
Are we just gonna watch it outside?
Dude,
the stadium?
What
We going? Let's do
McGregor
it.
Square. They have the big ass
like
screen. Everyone goes nuts.
It's not. It's next to Coors Field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's close.
Even more lit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's downtown next to all the bars and shit. So, yeah, no,
Winston's
I'm
getting
excited.
trashed, bro.
We got game.
Dude, if we win the NBA Finals, bro, like I'm not gonna cry. But shout out to the homie Josh, friend of the podcast. He said he might cry. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm gonna be damn close. I'm being damn close.
Yeah.
Because we went through some shit, bro. Like, and my whole entire life, I've watched the Nuggets, and we've been trash. And I started getting into basketball when he drafted Carmelo Anthony. Shout out him. He just retired the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so
they're doing it for Melo.
We're not doing it for Melo.
Quick pause. Hold on.
This
Quick
is
pause.
not doing
I
it
just
for
want to make a
Melo.
funny comment. There's always been the thing held against Melo that he was on.
How many teams was he on?
He was locker room cancer. People kind of called him that or whatever.
Damn.
How ironic is it that Melo retires and like not even 72 hours later, the Nugs are in their first NBA Finals?
I think it was kind of like an
a
ego
domino.
trip. I think it was like a grab for attention. He's like, "Oh, Nuggets are in the finals. I'm retiring." Like,
just know that when they retire number 15, dog, it's for Big Yoke, not you, dude.
yeah.
No offense, you're a beast.
Damn. He was the better number 15.
We're retiring his number without a doubt. But
the better number
after
15.
Jokic is done playing,
When Jokic retires,
yeah,
that's when that number is never worn again in Denver.
Well, for Melo and Jokic, because Jokic is the better 15, and Jokic is the best player in franchise's history without a doubt, in my opinion. But Melo's probably top
everybody's
5
opinion.
at least. It should be.
Melo was a better scorer than Jokic in prime form, but I don't think he was much universally better outside of that.
I tried
Yeah.
I tried those headphones. It's the same.
Yeah,
It's
I
a little
mean,
wire somewhere.
there was a lot of people saying there was polls out there who was a better Nuggets player, Jokic or Anthony. And some people were saying Anthony.
It's not plugged in yet.
And there's very few people,
No,
but pretty much everyone was saying Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that Anthony might have been a better athlete, but Jokic is the better baller. It's not
Go
even
pushing
close.
all the ones
Yeah.
over there. Like, push them in the Zoom.
It's not over there.
It's somewhere.
Yeah. Ben Frank said that we could never beat the Lakers, and we couldn't beat the Lakers when we had Melo, but they had Kobe. So it was Melo versus Kobe, and Kobe's just a better Melo. I mean, their games are very similar on the offensive end: ISO ball, face up, pull up, and it wasn't
I think
quite
it's good now.
wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
So
So when like you were relating to you as you were saying your whole life, like the Nuggets have always like not been shit. So like since I moved to Colorado, I remember when I first moved to Colorado, it was like the last year of the Kenneth Faried Nuggets, and like they really weren't much to hoot and holler about. Fast forward like a year or two, you get the Emmanuel Mudiay Nuggets, which who remembers
worse.
him? Who remembers him?
I do, but it's not great memories.
And then after him, like the Nuggets just kind of had a lull, like where it was like Gallinari, the Gallinari Nuggets.
Yeah.
After Gallinari,
I'm hungry.
It was like
Nuggets, bro.
yeah, it was Gallinari and Yusuf Nurkic, and then Jokic eventually showed up. You had that whole center debacle where like they were splitting starting times, where they were
Yeah.
taking turns starting because Jokic was just that selfless.
Thank God we chose Jokic, bro.
Dude,
Imagine if we didn't. Oh my God.
It would be garbage.
if
huh,
you
dude?
send,
Yeah,
but
sure.
Jokic in Portland with Dame would have been a preview of what Jamal and Jokic is now.
Yeah. I mean,
Again,
Yeah.
that's a big what if, but I can see as like a Chiefs fan, not to compare the Nuggets to the Chiefs, but they're kind of comparable. Like your whole life, they haven't really been a contender, and now they are because they got that cornerstone piece and then some.
Yeah.
And like watching, like I've said before, as a fan of just sports in general, I don't know how you can't root for the Nuggets right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sure, you could have fanship to the East, and that's your teams, whatever, good for you. But like anyone in the West, like, should be rooting for the Nuggets right now.
Yeah, I've heard some people talk about it. Jokic isn't exciting. He's not gonna dunk on you. He's not gonna do a windmill dunk. He's not flashy. Like, his passes are great. They play great basketball. But if you're a basketball fan, if you like enjoy the game of basketball, then you're gonna like this shit. But if you just watch Curry pull up from 30 feet,
he's an entertainer.
Then
that's different.
Yeah, the Nuggets it's not gonna entertain you. LeBron James was dunking on people. Like, all these guys are doing crazy shit. Jokic isn't doing crazy shit. He's doing crazy shit IQ wise.
Sometimes that like last second 1-footer jumper.
Oh, dude, that was sick.
That was fire.
That was fire as fuck. I was so hyped, bro.
All the memes that were just like when you accidentally press square on 2K.
Yeah, facts.
No, that was fire. But
Facts.
You're right. It's like that's why him not winning the MVP to Embiid was like didn't matter in the longevity of things, but it's something that like he prided himself on not doing because he said many times he doesn't care. Like when he won his last MVP, remember they gave him the trophy, he's just kind of like holding it. He's just like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
Like this is what he came to play for. And this is why it's so great to see. Like very rarely do you get to see in an NBA career someone who walks onto the court and is contagiously making everyone better.
Dude's going to be unleashed in the finals.
Yeah.
He's going to be fucking...
Again, though.
Hope
He
so.
wants that shit so bad.
He does.
If we get...
So, like, he's there, and now I feel like he's going to realize that he's like, all right, I need to show the fuck up.
Yeah.
This series.
He's normally a very, like, somber person. Like, he's really chill. I've never seen him so hype when we'd get a stop in the Western Conference Finals. Like, he was very, very energetic. And he's typically only energetic in the regular season when he's not getting calls. So, it was
Hopefully
really...
he doesn't, too, get, like, fucking... Like, he's, you know...
Yeah, it's true.
You know, sometimes when you get there, bro, choke series happens.
Also,
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening. I think he's going to be focused and, like, he's hungry, bro. He
for
wants
sure.
that shit so bad.
Okay.
shout out Coach Malone.
He's
Fucking
gonna show
coached up a storm. And
Oh,
in
yeah.
Game 4, one thing that, like... This doesn't add any, like, variable of appreciation to him that I didn't necessarily know was already there. But that moment when that ref called some, like, dumbass call... It was, like... completely dumb. Like the call was like it was like a phantom foul or something like that. Like just a petty call. And then Malone came over to the ref and you could read his lips. He looked at him and he was like, "Fuck you." And they gave him a
Yeah.
tech for that.
Yeah.
I was so like hyped for him right there. Like I wasn't hyped that the other team was getting awarded on his mouth.
My
but
mother said, "Fuck you."
Yeah. I remember that.
He's passionate and like seeing him host up that Western Conference trophy and the first thing he did rather than host it and like show it to the camera is he turned around and showed it to all his guys.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. Like I'm just so happy for that organization and the
Yeah.
Nuggets as a whole.
Yeah, and that's good to see from your coach because Jokic always complains about fouls, and he has not been complaining in the playoffs, which is great because you need to be focused on what's happening. You can, tell the ref, like, yo, what the fuck, but you shouldn't be, like, talking to them while you're running down the court, which is what the Lakers do.
That's what everybody does.
Exactly, and Jokic was like, I can't do that. I need to focus on the game and just let my coach do that for me. And Malone took it upon himself because Jokic got fouled, and he's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you need to call that shit. And that's how you know he has his backs. He has the players' back. Is he's standing up for the players, doing his job as a coach.
Oh yeah,
So I'm very impressed with Coach Malone and
secured his job and then some.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. And I'm very, very hopeful for the Nuggets, and I'm expecting them to win. They're currently the favorites at minus 200.
Mm-hmm.
If the Celtics win this series, without a doubt, Celtics will be the favorites to win the NBA Finals.
It is what it is.
They've had such a hard on for the Celtics. They've been favored in every single game other than Game 4 against the Heat, and that was the game they won.
If we're gonna take a historical approach to it, if Jokic goes down and sweeps the Lakers, and then goes on and beats the Celtics in any amount of games, even if it's 7 games, that means Jokic and company just beat the 2 winningest franchises of all time, back-to-back series. That's some crazy shit.
I want the Heat to
fire.
win, though, bro.
We
We
all-
got that
we all-
bet. We got that plus 750 bet.
we all do.
please.
We're
Like,
not-
come on.
I'm not-
Heat,
yeah,
finish
but-
it.
That would just be some historical shit. That'd be cool.
No, for sure. Yeah. That's the harder road for sure. I mean, Lakers, I feel like we're the best Yeah, second best team in the West. I mean, that's what it would say, but I don't know. Anyway, Melo retired. Shout out Melo.
Yep.
Uh,
And one.
yeah. Have you guys seen the memes where it's like the fuck out of here rebounds? Whenever he gets a rebound, he'd be like, fuck out of here, I got it. There's like 6-minute videos
yeah.
of him just doing that repeatedly through his career.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Shout out Melo.
Oops, sorry.
And you asked how many teams he's been on. He's been on a lot of teams, bro. He's been on like fucking 7 teams probably.
Yeah, probably.
Him getting traded to the Knicks, Jamal Murray was one of those draft picks. Like him getting traded to the Knicks was one of the best things to happen to the Nuggets. Like without a doubt.
You got to shout
Let's
out
go.
his lady. What was it, like Layla or whatever her name is? Because she didn't want to live in Denver anymore.
I think it's Lala. I think.
Lala.
Yeah.
She didn't want to live in Denver, so that's why he went to the Knicks, because he wanted to go to a bigger city.
Yep.
And so that just echoed into where we are now.
Yep.
Boom.
Shout out them.
Also, May 26th, today, if you're watching right now, new song, Acting Up, dropped everywhere. If you guys like EDM at all, if any of you guys that are watching work out to EDM or something, go check that song out, Acting Up. Hit the link below.
Yep.
Boom.
Finals, June 1st, next Thursday. Be there. Nuggets, taking game 1. Cover the series.
Taking game 1.
Bro, if it would be sick to do like, I don't know, if we somehow like did like a Discord and then just somehow recorded it like as we were just kind of reacting to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be dope.
I don't know how
we
easy
should
that
try
would
and
be.
take advantage of this since
Instead,
we're
wait,
Colorado
hold on.
sports
Instead of
guys.
Discord, we should record a diss.
Okay.
Of whoever wins the Eastern Conference
Exactly.
Finals.
Yep.
I 100% agree.
We got
100%.
Winston opening it up. We got Dave as a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be in there.
Ghost Rider, Blunt Lighter.
Ooh, whoa, Winston.
I
Sam.
got that from Rick Ross.
Oh.
So, do you guys have any other NBA news?
I want to talk about Jamal Murray
Let's get
real
it.
quick.
Go ahead.
Where is Jamal Murray in the NBA? Top 20, top 15? What do you think, Dave?
I don't have an exact number for that, but what I will say is, as it stands now, the only point guard I think in the whole West that I would rather have than him is Steph Curry, and that's it.
Okay.
And that's saying a lot. Now, I'm not comparing him to anyone in the East, not because he is or is not better. I think Jamal Murray is potent on any team you put him on. I don't know who you can compare him to, because let's face it, Jamal Murray is like a more I don't know. I kind of compare him to Donovan Mitchell as far as output, but not to compare their play style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like one of the dudes in the East that I think would be a great like comparison.
Yeah.
As far as talent.
Nuggets actually drafted Donovan Mitchell when we traded him. Yeah, I mean, I think
Second best in the West as far as guards. That's my
over Darian Fox and
right now. Yes.
Hold on. I got this. Greatest in the world, Nuggets in 4.
nice. Jamal Murray is probably at least top 20, maybe top 15. I need to work out who I have in there.
Yeah, you got to write them all down, look at it.
Guaranteed top 20, which is great because I don't even know if he was in the top 75 last year because they did a top 75 last year in the NBA, and I don't think he was in there, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
Never been selected to an All-Star game. Can you guys believe that?
Now, a reason
Probably will now.
there's two
Well,
reasons for
fucking
that.
better.
Two reasons for that. Well, a couple reasons. Like we've talked about, the Nuggets aren't the most like entertaining team because of their play style. B, the Nuggets are a mid-market. Unfortunately, we have the numbers to be a major market. They just get treated like a mid-market team. And then as well as that, because we're not getting the same eyeballs that everybody else isn't getting, that just kind of translates into like him having everything stacked against him to earn that, because it's a popularity contest at the end of the day, as well as numbers have proven that he steps up in the postseason. So his regular season, he consciously kind of knows, like, as long as we win like 50 games, and I like have some basketball like IQ that I display the entire time, I don't have to go and score 30 points every night. In the postseason, he's a walking 30-point player now.
Yep.
It's not even close.
In the regular season, I think he averaged 20 points, and in the playoffs, he's averaging like 27.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
So
He's
like,
turning it up. For
this
sure.
is honestly something that I think a lot of other players should take note of. Like, and I think the bubble was a perfect example because it taught him that, like, oh, this is when I hit the gas pedal. In the whole bubble, that's all he was doing.
I can't stress this enough. First finals. Can we not? Do not choke. No
Yeah.
one choke.
Well, I mean,
You
I
know?
think
Fuck.
yeah,
It's the first time they're there.
I think it's hard for Jokic to choke because obviously he can, but he's not a shoot first guy. He's a pass first guy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to lose your passing ability when you're like when you're second. I don't know. If you're second guessing yourself, then your passing ability is going to be fucked. But shooting is just a lot more in Zen type of thing. You have to be in it, and like you have to be really, really focused.
You have to be
Passing,
on.
exactly. Passing, you have to be on too, but it's just not as specific. So I think Jokic will do fine, and I think Murray will do fine. I think Murray's like a fucking killer. He's got that killer mentality.
He's accurate as fuck.
He's got a chip on his fucking shoulder, bro. As he should. Never been selected to an All-Star game. Been out 2 years, bro. Like, this is what he's coming for. I wish we had some good American players. Like, Jamal Murray's Canadian and Nikola Jokic is from Serbia.
I know, right?
But, it's not a big deal. Beggars can't be
Hey,
choosers.
Porter, come on. We got...
Yeah, Porter's American. Yeah.
MPJ.
Yeah, and he's been playing really well. I'm excited. So I said I think Nuggets 1 and 5 if they go against the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics, I think Nuggets in 6.
I agree.
On both of those or both of those? What do you think, Ricky?
Yeah, both of those.
Both of those? Okay.
Nuggets in 4 every day of the week.
If like
Okay. So Nuggets in
I'm
4.
just kidding.
Oh,
I agree
okay.
with you.
Shy of an
Oh, okay.
injury, I'm knocking on wood. Like I've said before, I haven't seen an exploitable weakness. Like, sure, put up 72 a half. Can you sustain that? Because that's the closest we've seen to the Nuggets losing in the last series they were just in.
Yeah, and the Lakers were a really great defensive team. They're pretty good defensively. They couldn't really guard Murray.
Nope.
But they played about as good a defense as you can on Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
And we still won.
Oh.
So, we'll see what the Celtics can do. Heat getting destroyed, but we'll see what the Celtics can do.
Chill out. We need to win this bet, dude.
Hold on. I got
Come
some
on.
breaking news from Joshua, our NBA insider.
I think the Heat are going to beat the Celtics, but I'm saying if the Heat go to the finals, the Nuggets are destroying the Heat.
So listen,
Oh, yes.
listen to
Yeah.
this.
We're gonna
Josh is
destroy the fuck out of it.
Oh, so this is according to Josh. He was saying NBA ref Eric Lewis was caught with burner accounts on Twitter defending his own calls, and NBA is now launching an investigation.
That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny.
Yo, stay off Twitter, bro.
I will say that there
How
wasn't.
old are you?
I didn't see
For
too many
real.
moments in that series where I was just like scratching my head on the officiating. There was a bunch.
What
Of,
are-
there was a bunch of now with the Warriors
What's
series.
his burner? We got to
there-
think of a burner name for him.
There was a moment where there was back-to-back bench techs called on the Warriors. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like sitting there watching. I'm like, why are they shooting a technical free throw? And they're like, yeah, the bench, whatever. Goes and shoots it. They go back to the court, and then he comes right back. I'm like, what's happening again? They're like, looks like they called another one. So like, the refs weren't like, oh my god, atrocious in that series. They're always going to be questionable,
Yeah.
especially given those were all close games. Like some people thought LeBron got fouled at the very last second of that game when he was going up against the paint, or like one of the last fouls they got awarded when Aaron Gordon like swatted the ball down. And they called it a foul. I'm like, where was the foul? They just wanted to keep that game competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to make a burner account to defend. That's like worse than Kevin Durant. I mean, Kevin Durant's
you're a
known
ref.
for that. Exactly, bro.
You only had one.
You got to be at like probably 40 or 50, bro, and you're making a Twitter.
So do you
Like,
guys think
3.
that my
You
guess,
probably had multiple.
I would have to check to see what the burner account comments were saying, but based
I
on
want
that,
the names.
based on that information, I'm assuming that like he had a bunch of like shitty calls that like the whole internet was just not having, and so he tried to defend himself. I'm not necessarily accusing him of like fixed calls.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, this guy's awesome.
it's fucking Twitter, bro. Like you can make the best call in the world, and then people of that fan base are just gonna talk shit about it, and it could be the best call that you've ever made in your career.
It's all opinions. Yeah,
Exactly,
who gives
bro.
a
Like you should know that you're a professional fucking ref.
Mm-hmm.
Like people yell obscene shit at you all the time in the fucking game, like every single game, especially in Boston because they're racist. They yell shit all the time. So like, that's wild to me. Was he in the playoffs?
You just called whole city racist, dude.
Boston is known to be racist. There's
Oh really?
Yeah.
sports fan base is
They're all,
known to be racist.
Well,
If you're a Boston fan, racist.
Dave Portnoy,
Not racist. He's
No.
cool.
he's a big Celtics fan.
He's part of my
He's a big
tribe though.
Celtics fan.
So
Yeah.
want him
Can't be
racist.
racist.
Slightly racist. He moved
Yeah.
to New York. I think he lives in New York right now, so he's a little less racist.
Just slightly racist.
He can't be racist. He's part of my tribe.
Well, yeah. Still,
You
yeah.
could
You
still
could
be
still,
pretty
yeah,
racist.
yeah. It's still possible.
Honestly, Dave's a little racist, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Saying if you're not
yeah.
part of my tribe, you can't be racist.
Yeah.
If you're a part of
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, Dave.
Yeah, that's pretty
Whoa.
wild.
I mean, no,
Better
jeez.
better get your lawyer, dog.
Dave's all. I mean, well.
So I think that's pretty much it for basketball shit.
Got some NFL news to talk
We
about.
do have some NFL news to talk
Uh-oh.
about.
So First,
First off, Dave has Mahomes as his screensaver.
no, that's Kadarius Toney.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was
No, so DeAndre Hopkins cut this morning by
Bro.
the Arizona
I
Cardinals.
seen that.
$22.5 million cap hit.
Crazy.
The Cardinals basically just looked around the room and said, we would rather spend $25.5 million into the abyss than get another snap from you, dog.
They're tanking hard. But,
Yeah.
like, I just
Kyler's
can't...
injured. J.J. Watt saw the writing on the wall. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
out.
I just can't believe they didn't trade him. Like, you trade him for, like, a...
No,
What do you
the asking
trade him?
price was too high. They wanted
Yeah.
a second-round draft pick. And what team wants to take on a 30-year-old receiver whose next 2 seasons cap hit is a combined like $50+ million?
Where does he go?
There's
where
like
does
7
he
teams
go?
that he's rumored to go to. The Chiefs are obviously one of them. The only thing is, if we get
If
him,
you guys get, oh
hold on,
my
if we get
God,
DeAndre
bro.
Hopkins, I'm kind
What
of
the
listen.
fuck?
Hold on, let me elaborate. As a Chiefs fan, don't get me wrong. I would love to have him because he's
You
so
guys
he's
can't
gonna
afford him.
if he walks in and takes over Juju's role, which is what he would as wide receiver 1. Juju had like 900 receiving yards last year with
You
us.
can't afford him.
We obviously can't. So the thing is if we get him, that just implies that the Chris Jones extension can't happen this year, and I don't want that.
Oh.
I would much rather extend Chris Jones than go get 30-year-old D-Hop. Don't get me wrong. You throw D-Hop in ours, we're already favored to win every game this season. You throw D-Hop in that, those odds are going to get even more. Like,
How old is Chris Jones?
I think he's like 26 or 7.
Oh, okay. He's
Yeah.
pretty young then.
Yeah.
That's worth it then. I thought he was
I
older.
think he could be.
Are you sure? He's been around for a while.
I'll look it up, but regardless, he's either gonna get extended before the first snap of the season, or he's gonna
Yeah.
get extended in like the first couple games.
He definitely deserves it. But
Absolutely. If he wants,
D-Hop to the Jets.
the scary thing is okay. So I don't think that makes
Whoa.
sense. That's one of the 3 teams that he's trending to. It's Chiefs, Bills, Jets. The reason I don't think he goes to the Jets is the Jets are now paying Odell.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Or no,
No.
Ravens.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. They have okay. So then I guess I'm wrong. I don't know where I got
Damn,
that.
Jets a good candidate.
So
then.
the Jets at that point, I don't know why I thought that he was going to the Jets. So the Jets are actually a good candidate with that consideration.
Yeah.
The Bills.
The Bills could obviously use him. Like the Bills.
No, they got to play
but
for Diggs.
Can they afford him though? Because
They
they're
got to pay
already
for Diggs, bro.
They're already
paying for
they're-
Diggs.
So I said this on a previous episode. The cap hit last year for Diggs and Josh Allen combined this past season was like 18 million. The cap hit for the 2 of them next season, this approaching season, is over 60 million.
Yeah.
They are gonna be hurt. Like they were really hoping.
They can't afford
Well, they
him.
were really hoping Gabe Davis was like a savior. Isaiah McKenzie, they wanted him to be like a yak guy. Didn't necessarily translate. The Bills' run game, they have James Cook, who has a lot of potential, but I think their run game is what plagues them. And so
D-Hop to the Broncos. Come on.
that
we
is
can't afford
the
it.
only way that happens, which is potential, is if Jerry Jeudy
I was
is
about to say
traded.
bye-bye Jerry Jeudy.
Or
yeah.
Cortland, maybe
Cortland
Cortland
Sutton.
Sutton. But I saw that he could be trending
We ain't
to
doing
New England, and I could believe Bill Belichick making that happen. Bill Belichick's the type of dude to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're good enough. They have Matt
They don't have a good.
Jones.
Yeah,
I-
he's good, but
I think
not.
well, now that he's a free agent, he just wants to be on a team. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's going to sign a multi-year deal. You think he's just going to sign a 1-year deal?
No.
I
If he
think
went
he's
to
signing
the if he came to the Chiefs, it would be like a complete signing bonus incentive deal with the backhanded hopes that he doesn't get those incentives.
I don't see any way you guys could afford him.
Me
He would
neither.
have to take a huge pay cut and
We would-
on a 1-year deal.
We
which
would
is
have to
very risky.
renegotiate with We'd have to renegotiate with Mahomes to convert some of his cap to signing bonus.
D-Hop to the Texans.
No, he ain't
Where
going
he
back.
started, but
he ain't going back.
yeah, I
No,
don't
I'm
think
just
so.
kidding,
They're
just
like,
kidding.
I
I'm
think
just
they're the
kidding.
least likely to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We got to like take the how much he costs hat
Hmm.
off and think about where he sees himself. Versus, like he's gonna have some assigned value of his own, but I don't see him getting a big contract. The fact that he wasn't
San
traded,
Fran can't afford
the
him.
fact that he wasn't traded, kind of speaks volumes to me about what the rest of the league thought about him. Because like a lot of teams could have tried to negotiate and probably did try to negotiate to trade him or try to trade him in good faith of a renegotiation on the contract.
Yeah.
And he could say those things, but you're not verbally obligated to renegotiate once you're traded.
Yeah.
So then he could be traded and be like, all right, cool, 54 mil next 2 years, let's get it. And then they're gonna be like, about that. Like,
Yeah.
and then you have a guy who's sitting out, and then it's gonna be the whole thing, different team. So, I mean, his age is what's really kind of fucking him.
Yeah. How old is he?
30.
30? I mean, I think he can still contribute. I mean, he's not going to be a top 5 wide receiver in the league, but he's
They're covering the
He would-
shit out of Hopkins, bro.
Well, D-Hop,
Any defense is covering Hopkins.
probably top 20.
if you put D-Hop on, like, the Chiefs, he would walk into the wide receiver 1 position first day, not because of how
Yeah.
good he is or how good he isn't. It's just because of the type of dude he is. He's a great possessions receiver.
Yeah,
he's a
bro.
good vertical ball getter.
Every defense knows when he's on
But,
the field, and they are paying attention.
The
Like,
Chiefs would ask of him what they asked of Juju. They wouldn't ask him to be the yesteryears of himself.
I don't know if he'd be in the slot per se, as far as specifically what Juju did.
Yeah.
But as far as how many receptions he got, I think
the targets,
Hopkins
like
is
that.
on the outside.
Hopkins to the Steelers.
Doubt it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Because you got to think about where he wants to go and how much are they willing to
I
pay
think
him.
the Jets is a good.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers to Hopkins.
Did you see
come
Aaron
on.
Rodgers has a calf injury?
No.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard got hurt in one of their optional training camps recently.
Oh.
They're both optimistic, they should be back come whatever the next phase of their preseason regimen is, but still, homie showing his age very quickly.
I mean, he'll be all right. He'll probably honestly, I don't want to be here. I'm just going to act like I'm injured so I don't have to fucking play.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to get to see what he's capable of on a different team that has a really competent defense, a lot of young talent.
They've been building for a while, man.
But I am apprehensive that Aaron, maybe the writing on the wall that we got to see last season from Aaron Rodgers is going to be similar to the writing on the wall that Russ has shown us, just getting a little old. You know what I'm saying? He's still going to be one of the better assumed quarterbacks in the league, but I'm going to be a little I don't want to use the word pessimistic, but I don't confidently know that it's going to work out right
How's
away.
their O-line?
It was better, but
It's good.
Quentin
Is it
Williams.
good?
invested into it.
Good.
Quentin Williams apparently was having contract disputes.
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's
a
the dude who
defensive
at the
tackle.
I was
combine.
gonna say, bro, because one big hit on Rodgers might shut down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Obviously-
They have a great defense.
one giant,
I
they
think,
do. They
I
have
think
a
the
great
Jets will be pretty decent. They won a decent amount of games with fucking Zach Wilson and Matt White. Come on. I mean,
No, they're going to be good.
Now, they're gonna be good.
yeah.
Better than the Broncos, probably.
Yeah, I think they're going to start off slow. We talked about their schedule a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I think they'll make the playoffs. I mean, I don't think there's any way they might be better than the Bills, if I'm being for real.
I mean, the Bills have been kind of, I don't want to say on the decline, but
The Bills are a
I
little-
think they've been on the decline, bro.
plateau to decline,
The Bills-
especially from last year to this year.
I think they've
It's been a
on the
decline from
yeah.
last year to this year. Maybe
They have-
not.
the
Maybe
Bills
not
have
the
no
previous
depth.
years, but
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because the Bills don't have depth. They have Dawson Knox. They just went and drafted Kincaid, who was one of the highest assumed tight ends in the whole
Yeah,
draft. So
no
I think he's going to be good. But yeah, I mean, we also, when you look at Josh Allen in Wyoming, he threw equal touchdowns to picks, but he just showed big arm all year, and we've gotten to see that. I think that he's been kind of getting when he scrambles, which he's really known for doing. I think that's catching up to him. He's kind of getting to the mindset where I need to step up in the pocket and not sacrifice my body.
Yeah, he's gonna start to get hurt eventually. It's just over time. You can only take so many hits. And early in his years, he was trying to hurdle people. Y'all remember that when he was hurdling people every week?
Did
it was
it to us.
bruh, y'all better chill.
I mean, no offense to Josh Allen and the Bills, but I think confidently Joe Burrow has overtaken the second best AFC quarterback.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The Bengals are better than the Bills, in my opinion, without a doubt.
And I mean, you could play that game of if you pluck them and put them elsewhere, would they be good? I think Burrow, each team was built around their quarterback, so they're in ideal systems for what they're capable of. But as a fan, I would much rather have Burrow. He makes much less mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bengals are the second best team. I think Bills maybe are the third or fourth.
Mm-hmm. Bills are up there. Jets probably going to squeak up there. Baltimore's up there.
Yeah.
Broncos in first.
The Chargers are capable of squeaking in. They're super talented. Their coach, fucking Brandon Staley, is probably going to lose his job if they don't really go on a run this year. But
Yeah.
I think Herbert is a beast. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous getting to see them play. The Chiefs play them in Week 7. That's going to be a game, but we'll see. Other NFL news I wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear the news that all punt fair catches made behind the 25-yard line will automatically be brought to the 25-yard line?
Really?
Yeah. Almost every team voted against that. They're claiming that they're trying to vote against, or they're trying to limit concussions because on punt returns and punts, those players who get full steam when they're tackling, it sounds like they're just trying to get rid of special teams, if that's what they're doing. Because to face it, unless you cough and corner it and you're good at that, you've pretty much voided acquiring a kicker that's that good? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having and vetting a really good kicker if no matter what, if they fair catch it, you go straight to the 25-yard line?
Yeah, it definitely affects punters for sure.
The returns, like
Yeah.
they're gonna have
Well-
special teams coaches are gonna be like, if you don't have like this, like the Kadarius Tonys, like the return specialist, the Turpin who plays on Dallas, if you don't have those, they're gonna be like, just fair catch it no matter what,
Yeah,
and we're just gonna
that's
hope
true.
they drop it. That's the only thing we can hope, because if they drop it, you have a play. If they don't drop it, then everyone's just gonna like lean into that. So if you get like, what's the point of even like punting? You know what I mean? Obviously you have to punt to give them the ball at favorable field position, but they're just going to go straight to the 25-yard line.
It's true.
Andy Reid straight up said in the press conference, he's like, yeah, I mean, he disagreed with it. They voted against it. And he was like, at what point are we not playing flag football anymore?
Yeah. I mean, if everyone voted against it, how did it get passed?
They have some weird commission. I don't know exactly how the politics work, but I'm firmly against it.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to do that, maybe do like the 15. But, I mean, I think it's just going to be such a detriment to the punters and field position. We're going to see a lot more teams go for it on fourth down at like the 50-yard line, 45 on their own side of the field. I think we're going to see a lot more of that, which is good. I think that's more entertaining as a fan. I hate fourth and outs or 3 and outs.
Mm-hmm.
Those fucking suck. So I think we'll see more people go for it and more fair catches, because you're right, what Dave said with if you don't fair catch it, you better fucking make a fucking play.
You better do something with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
If it's not like a shanked kick, you're fair catching it.
Yeah.
Basically. And I don't know, if you're going to use the rhetoric that we're trying to limit concussions because of the full speed ahead, the way that people can like tackle on those plays, and so we're going to award fair catching to incentivize doing it. Well, at what point are they not going to start doing things like that for the kickoff? You know what I'm saying? The kickoff at the beginning of the game, which is a huge moment, a lot of things can happen. Everyone loves seeing a 100-yard run back. You can't tell me that's not exciting.
Yeah.
That being said, if they use the same rhetoric like we're trying to limit concussions, if you take away all these opportunities for the special teams, there's a lot of special teams players that never get groomed to be good enough in the league. Like Shannon Sharp said himself on Undisputed, he goes, if it wasn't for special teams, I wouldn't be who I am. He's like, I shined on special teams and eventually got my shine on like the regular squad.
Yeah.
If you take away the opportunity for him to go make a tackle on a big play, he doesn't shine, never makes the team. Now you got Hall of Fame Shannon Sharp never making the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because kickoffs are already pretty fucked. They moved the kickoff closer to the end zone where they kick the ball.
So it goes out the back farther.
And then they made it, if you if it's a touchback, it goes to the 25.
Yeah,
so
like college.
Yeah, exactly. So it used to be the 20, which is only 5 yards, but even further incentivized. I'm not against the fair catch thing. I'm against going to the 25-yard line.
Exactly.
I think 15-yard line, I think that's good enough, because then you don't worry about safeties. It's going to be really hard to get a safety now. Really hard.
People are just going to coffin corner when they punt, if they punt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
And the league might outlaw that, too. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, that's more skill-based.
It is, but what fans...
It's not concussion.
Like, fans go nuts when, like, you kick the ball, like, on, like, a high punt, and then the team that's receiving it doesn't go for it. And then the ball, it just rolls right to, like, the 1-yard line. Fans go nuts for that.
Yeah, no, that shit's dope.
So that's, like, the peak joy of kicks to be had now.
Yeah. Yeah, and field goals.
Lame.
Yeah. Yeah, so Josh said it's voted during the owners' meetings every year, so it sounds like the owners voted in favor of it. I understand the health stuff. I totally get that. I just don't think the 25-yard line was the right call.
I don't think so either. It just gives them you're like I said, you're incentivizing the fair catch.
Yeah.
Which takes
They
away.
got to drive 75 yards now.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice gimme. Like I remember a few years ago, the NFL
Scores are going to be higher for sure.
Did you remember a few years ago the NFL considered voting on whether or not to, like, if you score a touchdown, you could go for 2, or it was like they would just give you the point after, because they were like 98% of the time the point after goes in anyway.
Yeah.
So they tried to say that a lot of people were getting injured on point afters or some shit.
Yeah, and instead they just moved it back.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I'm not mad at that, but I'm just like, some of these methods that they've concocted to try to make the game more safe, I'm afraid is going to remove some of the elements of the game that make it great. Like, it's organized violence. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, people will sustain injury. It's not like we're enthusiastic about injury. No one wants concussions.
It's a part of the game.
Dave does.
You can't outlaw injury, bro. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, special teams, those are where we see people, get...
Decapitated, for lack of better
yeah,
words.
like get
Drilled.
disabled. they get paralyzed. That's where we see it happen is those special teams because they're going so fast.
It's those are the players that like I'm not. He's like I'm a special squad guy only. This is the 3 opportunities a game that I touch this field. I'm gonna sprint my head off.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, and I'm there for it. You know, it's good. But yeah, no, it is unfortunate. I disagree with the vote happening.
The other thing that got passed is the whole teams can be flexed to a second Thursday night game. So every team was eligible for 1 Thursday night game a year. Then they voted to make it 2. But now what it is they can flex it to primetime. Basically, like, oh, we know the Chiefs Chargers are going to be a better game than like the Bengals versus like the Texans. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna do that for Thursday, but not Monday night.
They already like have the flex for primetime games on Sunday, so they can move your game from.
I knew that.
But now they're going to be able to flex every team a second time to Thursday. Basically,
that's stupid.
It's very dumb. There's rules though. It's like certain weeks, like they can only do it between weeks like 7 and 13 or some shit like that. It's very laid out.
You have to do it far in advance.
They have to give It's like they have to have like over 30+ day notice that their team's schedule had been flexed. But still, like
the difference between Sunday and Thursday is a huge difference between Sunday and Monday.
Exactly.
Sunday and Monday is a lot easier. They should have done it for Monday. I bet Amazon just paid them a bunch of money. They're like, do it for us instead of ESPN.
But as a player, none of the players are down for it because they're like, look, if you're telling me I play Sunday and then you might just flex me to Thursday, I was expecting a week off. Now I have like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? That's going to lead to more injury, stuff like that. Like, the Chiefs this year, we have the most, like, hurried schedule because a lot of we play a couple of Monday night games as well as we only play, like, 1 noon game pretty much the whole year. So we end up having like a couple 5 and 6 day rest periods to where a lot of other teams are getting the full 7. And then we have like, let's face it, the Chiefs are going to be a team that they would flex to a second Thursday game. Like we can all assume. Yeah. So I'm just confident we're going to be victims of that. That's why I'm so against it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm against it too. Just do the Monday night game if you want to do that. It makes it easier.
They just know that like, oh, this Thursday night game is going to suck. But as a fan, how do they expect people to like fill stands when they're like commuting, you know? Like, oh, I have like plane tickets and everything to be there on Saturday. Next thing I know, the game I have to be there Wednesday.
Yeah, I think they do it like 4 or 5 games in advance.
True, they will still have that 30-day in advance notice, I suppose. But ticket holders are going to get like a little email and be like,
if they did that to you, is your game the Chiefs Chargers?
It's week 7, Sunday.
Is it prime time?
I think so. It might be. I don't know. I'd have to look. But
like theoretically, they could change yours.
If they flexed mine, I would be pretty upset.
Yeah.
Change the schedule.
Sure. All right. Any other NFL stuff?
I don't think so. That I know of.
One thing that we forgot to mention in NBA that I wanted to reel back real quick. Did you guys see that John Morant posted like "I love you" on his Instagram story of a bunch of his loved ones, and then they had to perform a welfare check on him just to see if
he's
all
okay. Fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like keep a little update because we talked about John Morant last episode. So
yeah, fucking Jaw, dude.
Doing the most.
Don't be flexing blickies, you know what I'm saying, on the IG Live.
He's young. He's young as shit.
It's either,
going crazy.
Love or death. He's either...
Other NFL news, I saw Adrian Peterson claims that he's not done. And he's willing to. I don't see him making another team as an active player, but he could be an amazing like running backs coach, mentor type.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I just pray that he doesn't take some stupid deal and go to like the USFL or XFL, bro.
That'd be dope. I'd be more likely to watch it. Honestly, I'd watch it if Adrian Peterson was going to show.
Running all over.
He'd probably fuck him up, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He might fuck some people up.
He's just all white haired and juiced to the gills,
dude. For real.
Juice this man up.
Damn.
Yeah, we need a league where they don't do steroids, or where they do steroids.
Where they do all the steroids.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 90s.
Yeah, but in 2020, USFL allows steroids.
Do you guys have any other NFL news? Anything coming to mind?
Nope, I do not.
I can talk about how Mahomes got asked again about how all these other quarterbacks are getting paid and how he feels about his contract, and he said that he values legacy more than money, and he said he's making more than enough money that he'll be all right. So the whole contract renegotiation for him doesn't sound like it's as imminent as we thought. They were trying to say that he was going to be the most paid quarterback come week 1 of this season. It sounds like they're pumping the brakes on that.
I give it 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But let's face it, Mahomes is the most paid quarterback in the league with respect to off-field endorsements. He makes over like $20 million a year in off-field endorsements.
Yeah, but that's him though. That's not the team.
Yeah, well, Russell Wilson
I'm
is
saying-
short.
Damn. Well, I was saying, like, if you take his salary and combine his off-field salary, I don't think he's looking around the other quarterback room like I'm the least paid.
No. But he's
For his craft, maybe.
Exactly. He's like the 7th highest paid quarterback.
Something like that. Like, he's not one of the higher paid quarterbacks
We
because
got his
everyone.
contract years ago.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
also
exactly.
got a
That's why.
10-year team-friendly deal. Like,
Yeah.
they knew what they were doing when he got it. The $450 million. That's still the biggest single contract for any quarterback to ever sign.
Yeah, only because it's 10 years.
Yeah, and we all know he's not going to fulfill. He's going to fulfill like the first 5 because that's how long you can stretch a signing bonus, and
Yeah.
then they're going to renegotiate so that they can re-stretch a signing bonus. That's how he's going to make more money.
Yeah.
Signing bonuses are only 5-year eligible, so.
Yeah. Interesting. Good stuff. Do we have MMA stuff to get to? Or
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Pause.
last card.
Before
my iPad's over there, but
before we get into the MMA news, well, this is MMA. This is MMA news. We told you guys. We fucking told you guys. We interview champs only on this bitch.
Oh, he did win.
Our dog Jacoby, 2nd round TKO, LFA lightweight champ, 7th man to ever hold that
Ref
belt.
stoppage, wasn't it?
Yes,
Dude was bloody.
disgusting.
A
He got a
mess.
so. When we say this man trains at Factory X Muay Thai, you should watch his fights. This man, who's a lifelong wrestler, has gotten 2 TKOs that both started with these 2 eyeballs with a standing knee. Like, this man,
Those knees are nasty,
Jacoby
bro.
should get an endorsement by like Roto Rooter because he be unplugging faucets, my guy, in these dudes' faces. Dude, this is disgusting.
Ugh.
This man is violent. He done like
I knew he was gonna get a stoppage. Let's go,
Dude.
Hit our parlay.
Oh.
What's good? No, I hit my leg. You guys suck.
I didn't.
mine. I thought mine did.
Mine didn't hit. Jalen Brown didn't score 20 points.
Jalen Brown.
Well,
What did he score?
Like 18.
so my leg was the Michael Johnson fight
Yeah, I
not
thought
going
we
the
won.
distance, and it definitely did not go the distance. We'll get
He
to
got-
that.
oh
we'll
my
get to
God.
that. But no, Jacoby Jones, LFA champ, probably coming to a UFC card near you,
Can't
bro.
believe they had that man as an underdog when he did that to him.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful, dude.
This-
What round did he finish?
Second- second
Oh, I
round.
thought it was the first.
Second round.
Second round.
3-round
And-
fight or 5-round?
3.
5.
No, it is a 5.
It was a
'cause
championship.
yeah.
So it was a 5-round fight. Jacoby, so his opponent, who is 6-1, Jacoby was 6-1 going into that, if I'm not mistaken.
Thought it was
His-
7-1.
I think he is now.
Okay.
Regardless, though, his opponent had never been out of the first round before, and Jacoby knew that, and we all saw what dividends it paid. So, like, Jacoby, he was standing with him, striking with him, and then he eventually got him on the ground, and then homie was throwing up, like, arm bars and shit. Jacoby was too smart, rolled with it, got
Oof.
on top of him, and then just started raining elbows on this man's eyebrows. Bruh, he was leaking. Going to round 2, they clinch up
It
at
was
one
bad.
moment. Jacoby standing knee, no clinch at all. He just, like, right across dude's face.
Like,
An
instant.
instant gash just everywhere. Ends up taking him down.
me and him screaming over there.
Just jumping. So at one point, at that point, he takes him down shortly thereafter, and then he's just trying to land some ground and pound, and then his opponent just wraps him up like this, was not intelligently defending himself. Ref calls it.
The ref was like, no, too
And
much blood.
knew.
There was so much blood, bro.
Yeah.
So shout out Jacoby Jones, Big Toe MMA.
Woo!
We're so fucking proud of you, dog. Like, you didn't.
We need that title right here.
Yeah. Hopefully, in the near future, we're
With
gonna.
you talking your shit.
Yep. At the end of his fight, in his post-fight speech, he was like, "Dana, you know my manager. Like,
Yeah,
let's
bro.
get it, bruh."
He needs to come. He needs to come and tell us how he feels about that shit. That'll be a good episode.
Oh, I can't wait. Again, we're
He's gonna
just
walk in here with the belt.
we're just so proud of this dude.
So proud.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's so sick.
I wonder how heavy it is.
It's funny on Ariel Hawani's the YouTube channel that he's on. You know how they do other shows that he doesn't host on the channel.
Yeah.
I got into one of those like the very next day, and I can't remember which hosts were on there that day, but I was spamming the chat. How about the new LFA lightweight
Oh
champ?
yeah, you were saying
And
that.
so they finally got to the Q&A part of that pod, and then they post mine first because I had spammed it way too many times. And immediately the guy who was talking, he was just like, "Yeah, shout out Jacoby Jones. That was badass. I didn't get to watch the fight. However, you did beat my training partner."
Beat
so,
his ass.
so I spammed some homie's training partner and didn't know it. So shout out to Jacoby once more. That shit's badass.
Beating his ass.
Dude, he's going to the UFC. It's like,
Or any big organization.
I
I would
mean-
like to see the UFC, but
I think that from when we talked to him, it's all eyes on UFC.
it's what it sounded like. He called out Dana, so he wants to go to UFC.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But you never know what happens. You
So-
never know what happens. Let's get onto this card, though.
The Mackenzie Dern Angela Hill card.
I
It
need
had-
to watch it.
It had some sneaky good fights for not having a bunch of star power on it.
Let's see. All right, we didn't go over the prelims last week. We're going to go over them this week because we have some decisions on there. Or not decisions, but like some results. There we go.
Finishes.
And there's some finishes, yeah. Decisions and finishes. First fight on the prelims. Takashi Sato lost a decision to Themba Garimbo. Then we had Natalia Silva taking out Victoria Leonardo in the first round. KO TKO. Chase Hooper, decision win over Nick Fiore. We had Rodrigo Nascimento. I think Fernandez is what it is. The last name is too long. It won't show it. He beat Ilir Latifi. Decision. Then we had Gilbert Urbina taking out Orion Kose. KO TKO, second round, 2 minutes 55 seconds. Karolina Kovacevic took out Vanessa Demopoulos. Decision. Then we had Vyacheslav Borshalev take out Hayasar Mahashate via KO. Second round, 2 minutes, 37 seconds. On to this main card. Let's talk about Michael Johnson falling to 22-19.
Yeah, I saw
This
it.
time via KO TKO from a jiu-jitsu specialist.
It was a vicious
That
overhand right.
is going off on the striking right now.
Yeah.
He's been getting knockouts.
So, I parlayed that this fight would not go the distance, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And it sure fucking didn't. It just sucks that our dog, Michael Johnson, lost.
22-19.
I saw a tweet that
is not a good record.
it showed a
bro.
tweet and it showed like all of his like fights that he's won and lost, and like all of the dudes that he's beat like that were really good, like Dustin Poirier and the people that he's lost to. And it was like Michael Johnson might be the best bad fighter of all time. And that, no
He's
discredit.
not even a bad fighter.
He's not
it's
at all.
just-
He's game. Was this a
Yeah.
boring fight? Like I've said before, Michael Johnson does not participate in boring fights.
What's crazy is Michael Johnson's gotten knocked out like this.
Couple
Like the very similar, like it was the exact same punch as Josh Emmett.
yeah.
He got knocked out the same way. The punch landed the same.
He
The
folded
guy
the same.
threw it the same. He folded. Yeah, it was bad. Like,
but didn't go the distance. Excuse me.
like I watched the tape. Diego watched the tape on Josh Emmett.
No, just Michael
Just
Johnson.
copied that. Boom.
Michael
Landed
Johnson's
perfect.
not the like he'll take one to give one type of fighter, and that technique did not prove fruitful that night.
No. Diego Fiera, KO TKO, second round, 1 minute 50 seconds. Right after that, we had Joaquin Buckley getting a finish in the second round.
Yeah, unfamiliar territory.
Andre
almost.
Fialho, I mean, yeah, it's been a long time, but he did it. He was an underdog too, I believe. Emily Ducati getting a loss via Lupita Godinez. Another decision win for her.
Mhm.
Right after that, we had Anthony Hernandez taking out Edmund Shabazi, and I did not expect him to be taking out Edmund like that. But third round, 1 minute and 1 second, fight's over.
Yeah,
Then we had Mackenzie Dern. How tough is Angela Hill, huh?
she's a beast.
Took a beating in that. Took a beating.
She didn't really look potent at a lot of times. She just
Yeah.
kept getting dealt with. Mackenzie Dern just looked like
Almost
the
had that armbar.
bigger woman and was just dealing with her.
Dealing with
But I mean, shout out Angela Hill. You looked a game. You
it.
didn't
Another
look,
tough customer.
You
but
didn't look lost.
Not the best record.
But I mean, we definitely got a little preview
Yeah.
of the Mackenzie Dern accent towards the end of that.
15 and 13 for Angela Hill. Oof.
Yeah, she's
Oof.
no pun intended, but in combat sports, like they call that title, and again, no pun intended, but journeyman. I guess you could be considered journeywoman,
15,
but that's kind of
13 is
weird sounding.
crazy. 15, 13 is crazy.
That's nuts. But let's be honest, there was a couple of questionable decisions in there that like we can all argue about. There's no point in doing it. She's not in a title like picture with those decisions being overturned, you know.
Mhm.
But she's been game. She's never really looked like a lost puppy, but let's face it,
It's
Mackenzie
crazy to
Dern's-
see. You see Angela Hill 15-13, and then you see Mackenzie Dern 13-3. Like,
Mhm.
what?
Mackenzie Dern is a beast.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kind of a slim card that week. We don't have a UFC this week.
Yep.
The next UFC is June 3rd. We'll talk about that next week. Kai Kara France taking on Amir Albazi.
So did you watch any of the highlights from Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko?
I did not. I missed the fight. Super busy this last weekend, but I did see that a lot of people think Loma won.
So I mean, I haven't sat down and rewatched the fight. I didn't pay that close attention when it was
Didn't.
on. it was like,
You were out and about though, huh?
I mean,
Were you?
I think I might have. I don't remember
No,
vividly.
you probably weren't.
But regardless, I think
You didn't show up to his party last week. Do you want to explain yourself?
there's not much to say. I fell asleep.
Wow. How do you feel about that, Deryk? He didn't even show up to your birthday party, huh?
I was at the birthday pod.
It's okay.
But nah, yeah, I think that was very. I don't want to. It was
He
not
was watching the Haney fight, bro.
It was not a
This guy's
rob.
crazy.
It was not a robbery. It was not a robbery. But I do genuinely feel like that fight is like it should have a rematch in my mind because like let's face it, Devin Haney is the harder individual puncher, but Vasily landed the more punches and bunches. No one really got the better of either one. I want to say Vasily might have got dropped once. That might have been the most significant moment of the fight. But other than that, like, I don't know. Like, I can't say that I know for a fact it was a robbery, but anyone who was on the, like, that was a draw, I kind of lean into that. I get it. It's boxing. Boxing is politics.
Yeah.
They really want that Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson fight, which will be nuts.
It's going to be nuts.
But
they kind of, I don't know.
It just,
I haven't watched it, so I can't really give too much of an input on that boxing.
But the big breaking news, which I think this will be the bout of the year, Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr. This is Earl
That
Spence
was
Jr.
just announced, too.
This is Earl Spence Jr.'s first
July
fight back.
29th.
Bruh, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna.
I got Crawford, bro.
He's the
Crawford.
fresher fighter. This is like, will Earl Spence be rusty?
And they've been trying to make this fight forever, bro. Earl Spence hasn't fought in how long?
I mean, he had that really nasty like car accident where his shit
Still, bro, that
like
was so
flipped
long
and shit.
ago.
But
That
yeah,
was
you're right.
5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just excited. This is like, how crazy is it that boxing is actually blessing us with the bouts we've been begging for? You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be fun to watch. I'm excited.
Has Earl Spence fought since he's been back?
I think maybe he's had like one, and I don't vividly remember. I would have to look it up.
Either.
But huge fan of Terrence Crawford, huge fan of Earl Spence Jr. What's his name? Ryan Garcia's new trainer is Earl Spence Jr.'s trainer, so that's cool. Little iron sharpen iron. I bet that gym will get a little bit better.
Okay.
Other than that, did you see the current back and forth between Dana and Francis right now?
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
There's not much to really talk about.
There's not much to talk about because it's like, yo, just let him do his thing. Who cares?
So, like we've mentioned, Francis got that big contract with PFL, but the more we reflect on that contract, I think everyone kind of agrees that like that's a great contract for Francis. It's a bad contract for PFL. And
it is. But I just think who cares because the PFL or Francis is better off without the UFC, obviously via contract.
Money-wise, for sure.
And Dana and the UFC are better off without Francis. Like, just let them fucking just go your separate paths then, and everybody shut the fuck up.
But did you hear the alleged?
Like, why are they even? Who cares?
Well,
like,
alleged...
you didn't sign. You didn't want him to sign. You said he's never going to come back to the UFC. So why do we even care?
Well, the reason I mentioned is because Chael Sonnen went on and said, and I think a couple other people have alleged this to be true, that Francis' contract negotiation with the UFC, the first thing they negotiated was like. They wanted it to be Francis John Jones, and instead they did John Jones Cyril Gane because but they told him $8 million for that. And the thing is,
why didn't you take that, Francis?
Here's why I think I think Francis didn't take that. The only thing is because Francis genuinely thought that he was going to get a boxing bout. And the big reason,
I think he left because he genuinely thought Tyson Fury was going to fight.
And the reason that this is such a different thing to consider is like, if you're Francis and you were like, okay, I'm the heavyweight champ, you're a badass, no questions asked, but you try to compare yourself to Conor because Conor's the golden pony that did this. Yeah. He's the guy who did it. Conor is the greatest selling fighter in MMA history. You, Francis,
and also,
are not.
All the fans were asking for this Floyd Mayweather.
And Dana was in on it.
And Dana was in on it, and McGregor was like, fuck the Mayweathers.
Yeah,
like, he made it a thing.
Because of Dana being in on it, he had Dana in his corner. Francis never had that. He never once had that, and it's because
he's never called out Tyson like he did. You know what I mean?
Like, let's just be honest.
John Jones called out Tyson more than Francis did.
So I think that the reason that he didn't sign that outside of the boxing, what have you, is that in his mind, I'm really not trying to be mean. I think that Francis thinks that he wasn't winning that fight. Because if let's face it, you beat John Jones for $8 million and you're the champ, how do you negotiate your next fight? You know what I mean?
I think he didn't want to sign because he wanted more. You could just tell. Like, he literally got a piece of PFL's company. Like, that's what he wanted. Got what he wanted. He's literally the leader of PFL Africa,
which
wherever
isn't
the hell.
thing yet.
Yeah, but wherever
It
the
will
hell that
be.
goes, you know.
Which I want
Still
to
the leader
succeed.
of it.
Want that to succeed.
He would have never had any of that shit in the UFC, so good for him.
So do you want to know? I think
UFC would have never given that. Ever.
if the PFL can like do what they've been rumored to do for a hot minute now, and if they can,
they're
if
investing, bro. They're dropping.
so the
loot.
PFL is allegedly flirting with Saudi Arabian investment to try to buy Bellator. Which
No, that's over with.
okay, so that's not happening.
Yeah.
If that did happen, if you somehow acquired Bellator, like again, I don't want to see this fight for the sake of a MMA purist, but for the sake of justifying all this money that you're giving Francis. What if they did like they acquire Bellator and they somehow you get Francis versus Fedor, which again,
Yeah, no.
Fedor would get sacrificed. No one's watching that fight with eyeballs thinking this is going to be a good fight.
Yeah,
We're saying he's going to be sacrificed, but
yeah, I just
What-
as of Wednesday, that PFL with Bellator deal is dead.
okay.
Yeah, just because I forgot what the reason was. Like I just think they couldn't come to terms with.
Which I understand.
They were like,
But regardless, I don't see the PFL having the wherewithal to get Francis a worthy MMA opponent. I do see Francis being like this with Jake Paul being super fruitful for him to ever get some form of boxing bout. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to get Anthony Joshua. He's not going
I
to get
think
Tyson Fury.
I think PFL's waiting for a big signing of somebody that's trying to go over to the PFL. That's just a perfect opportunity person.
I mean, but what I'm saying is Francis
fight
is
Francis.
not. They can pray that this they have the heavyweight tournament and that their heavyweight tournament winner just baptizes every single opponent and has all the momentum in the
Yeah.
world, and then they could be like, all right, we're sacrificing him to Francis. That would make sense. And maybe you had Francis fight the winner each time in like a pay-per-view format, but like, let's face it, the one pay-per-view they did like less than 10,000 buys. That is, Francis will not change that.
If I'm the PFL, I'm just sacrificing people to Francis, blowing him up. Just keep sacrificing him. Sacrifice everybody.
have to-
Have him kill everybody in the division,
Well,
and then shoot for a big ass fight with somebody. Like
they know though, like, okay, here's a good rumor that's
just have him
alleged.
kill. Like fuck it, get your money's worth.
Here's a
Get your
rumor.
money's worth.
John Jones fights Stipe, which is almost guaranteed. It'll happen sometime later this year. There's a rumor that
November.
well,
It's set for November.
it's not even a
now.
rumor. That's the last fight on Stipe's contract, I'm told.
Yeah.
And so if Stipe fulfills his fight contract, Stipe could totally want to go.
No, he's done.
No,
it's
no, listen,
over with.
listen.
He's a firefighter, bro.
But if Stipe wanted, like, because let's face it, Stipe has probably not gotten the
he does
paydays,
not want Francis again.
but for $2 million guaranteed fight purse. That's what the
He's
opponents
worth
are
more
getting.
than that.
He would only go to the PFL for a pay-per-view format. He wouldn't
That's
go
what
to
he gets paid in the UFC, bro.
maybe.
I guarantee he gets at least $1 million.
I would hope. I would really hope.
If he doesn't, I'm gonna be like, wow, that's fucked up.
Other than that, who are you gonna
One
attract
of the
to?
greatest.
Like, was he gonna fight Fabricio Verdum? No one wants to see that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
I'm just
We're in a
skeptical.
crazy.
I'm skeptical that they find him an opponent.
His next fight is a boxing fight.
If it happens,
That's Francis' next fight is a boxing.
He's got 6 months to find the opponent. Find the
Deontay's
date.
dead. He ain't fighting Deontay now.
Anthony
That's dead.
Joshua and Tyson Fury are rumored to fight again. That news
That's-
came out
yep,
like yesterday.
Yep, that's yeah.
So those two are not gonna be fighting him.
Francis is stuck right
Who
now.
like was he gonna fight Klitschko?
No.
Is Klitschko
no.
wanted to fight? No.
Those were the three. That was it, bro.
No.
Tyson fucked up.
I
Fumbled
mean-
the bag with Francis, or Francis fumbled the bag with I don't know what, but
I just
that
don't.
fight should have happened. That's why Francis left, and it didn't, and it's not going to.
But if Francis doesn't get a boxing bout agreed to, I think him leaving the UFC was a total mistake.
Dude, I said that as soon as he left.
Yeah, like you're not. It just is what it is. But now, if you do get the boxing agreement, you have you're shitting on everybody.
He should have had shit signed before he left the UFC, bro.
Well, I think legally he couldn't because of tampering.
I
laws.
know, but like, you could sign some shit saying that you're gonna sign some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have did something
I don't even know
to,
just who.
to lay down the foundation of it before you leave.
I just can't think of who he's
And then
gonna
he left and got
who,
fucked
like.
over.
I have no idea who Francis would box.
Something will happen. Life's crazy.
I want him
We'll
to.
figure it out.
I absolutely want him to.
Yeah.
I hope he gets this. He's gonna have generational wealth. He'll be able to pay his families, like his grandkids. Grandkids will be like fucking retired by the time they're born.
Who knows? Crazy. What else we have fighting news? That's it, huh? We have kind of a slim week fighting wise.
I mean, there
no
was
fights this weekend. Terrible
Yeah.
week to not have fights.
like
no
someone
basketball.
fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. Like no one picked up this weekend.
No
Come on,
basketball.
guys, do
no football.
something.
there is
Oh,
LFA,
shit, we can't
but
even bet on anything. Huh?
There's
We
LF
can't even parlay anything right now.
there's LFA,
You
but
guys
Good
want to parlay some
basketball,
NASCAR?
Right. I have minus 5,000 for them making a left turn. I think we should put that on a parlay.
Put that on parlay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Let's bet on horse racing.
Right?
Pick a horse, everybody. In the room. No.
There's definitely like upcoming stuff.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, basketball is the only real.
Let's just
there's
make
baseball,
a parlay
but-
for the Heat Celtics game, I guess.
Yeah, we could do that. Which, I don't know. Did I tell you to not bet on the Heat last night?
Yes.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, and I did still.
Yeah.
And I lost $5.
I probably told you too late.
I wanted to still do it because it buffed up my odds for the same game parlay. You
Yeah.
know? As soon as I seen I was at the gym last night, so as soon as I seen the Heat down by like 20 points, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, well, I lost my $5.
Yeah. Without the starting point guard, it was really tough. They're already
and I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that last night, dude? Didn't know.
I did. That's when I told you to not bet on them.
You didn't even say it like that. You're like, oh, you're betting on him? That's cool.
I told you to not bet on Miami Heat.
No, you didn't. I'm going to read it for verbatim.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I just asked you and you said I did.
No, hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
I asked you on Facebook, huh?
Yeah.
Where are you at, Winstonian? This dude said Miami are huge underdogs tonight, but they could win. I'll give you some. You're savage, bro.
That's me telling you to not bet on
No,
them.
it's not. You literally said, but they could win.
They
But
could.
not with
Anything's
their
possible.
starting point guard.
He's an undrafted guy. He's like their fourth best player.
I hate you, dude. you know you worded that fucked up.
I mean, I don't want to tell anyone what to do. I just want to provide people with information so they can make their own decision.
Got to delegate.
Yeah.
But that's such a vague answer. Miami
mean-
are huge underdogs tonight, but they could win.
Yeah. That's me saying
Like,
they're probably
you
not
said-
going to win.
No, say, bro, their point guard is out. No.
Yeah, maybe I didn't know at that time.
Or
I
you
don't
could have. Yeah, you probably did. I don't know.
So, Celtics.
I'm blaming myself at the end of the day.
Celtics Heat. I think I'm going to go Jimmy Butler minus for 25 plus
Pull
points.
up some shit.
That's minus 290. He better have a good game. Last game he scored 15 points. So if he doesn't score 25 at home, then Celtics are definitely winning that game.
I'll be so mad.
Yeah, me too.
Damn, my app froze.
We can always bet on baseball.
Yeah, I don't know shit about baseball.
Me neither.
Me either, bro.
I've been
That's why we don't talk about it much on here. Like, none of us watch it. Like,
No. And it's early in the season, bro. Like no one cares.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know the last time I watched a World Series.
Tomorrow is Game 5 of the
Damn,
Stanley
he
Cup.
is down again, bro. Plus
Vegas,
130.
Stanley. Yeah, the Vegas Knights lead the series 3-1 against the Dallas Stars. So that's for the whole Stanley
No,
Cup.
this isn't the Stanley Cup, no.
Yo, I'm buffing
This
up our.
is the-
I'm beefing up our parlay. I'm picking my Miami money line
This
plus
is
130.
This is before the Stanley Cup
Oh.
because there's 3 people for the odds to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, well, forgive me.
You're good.
Goes to show how tuned in I am to the NHL.
I got the Heat money line because they have to win this shit. They
Heat
have
money
to win.
line?
They have to win it because if they don't, they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like the whole series. So they have to win this game. They're underdogs. It's a good line. Plus 130. They need to win this shit.
Yeah.
They need to win this shit. So that's why I'm gonna ride on it. If I lose, then well, so do
Okay. And then you got Jimmy Butler for 25 plus points
they. Let me add
because
that
if they're gonna win, then Jimmy Butler's gonna score
For sure.
25 plus points.
for sure. Oops. Plus 25, Mr. Butler minus 300. I like it. What's your leg, Mr. Dave?
Plus 300 or minus 300?
Minus
Oh shit, that's crazy.
plus 25 points. I could do alternative. Let's see.
Let me.
Yeah, we just might as well do the plus 25. What are we thinking, David? I had to pick Miami Heat money. They have to win, dude. Like they can't lose this shit.
They have to win this game.
They
or else
had
it's over.
or it's over for
Yeah.
them. Like, which would be great. The Celtics came back from a 3-0.
Has not happened
Ever.
150 teams have gone down 0-3 and have not come back. Now, is that going to happen? It will happen eventually. And so,
Might be the Celtics.
exactly. I mean, because the Miami Heat are...
How do you drop that, Heat?
Yeah, how do you drop it?
that?
But also, they're the 8 seed, bro. And
They are
they've
an
had
8
an incredible run up until this point.
Now they're tired.
Exactly. And they're just
The engine's
they're cold
falling
right now.
apart.
And they're missing their starting point guard this last game. Celtics won one game.
Now
before
they're in
that.
Miami.
Now they're in
again.
Miami. Hopefully, if the point guard's not playing, bro, I don't think the Celtics or I don't think the Miami's gonna win if the
Oh,
point guard's not
shit.
playing, and he might not play.
Fuck. Okay, I didn't know that.
Maybe. So on my app, I have for total points by Boston. Excuse me. The over 106.5 is minus 110, and then the under 106.5 is minus 118. I feel like Boston will get 106.5.
Okay,
So the over.
sure. If that's what you think.
On what? On what points?
Yeah, total points. Boston.
Just Boston's
I don't know if I
away
can.
away
I don't know if
total
I could
points.
same game parlay that on this app.
I don't know if you can either. Yeah, it's away total points. It's all,
Oh, yep,
it's
yep,
close
yep.
to the bottom.
Away team total points.
So I had it over 106.5.
Yeah, I
Minus
mean, if
105?
if the Heat win, I don't see Celtics scoring that many points, but it's
I feel like it's
possible.
going to be a higher scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, Heat win games.
It's a
that are
nice
low
parlay we
scored.
got, boys. We got a 3-leg parlay sitting at plus 835.
Oh my god,
Miami Heat money line, Jimmy Butler to score 25 points, and over 106.5 for the away team total.
If you were to change that over to under for Boston,
the
the odds are almost the exact same.
Yeah, it'd still be the same.
Yeah.
I think if we're riding on Miami winning, which is what this parlay is doing, because we have
So we should go
Heat
under.
money
We're riding
line,
on Miami,
then
kind of.
under is the more likely. It's still possible, but
Like,
Miami's offense is not the best.
What do you
Should we-
think then?
Then switch it to under then.
Okay,
'Cause it would be more fluid.
yeah, because I think we're kind of riding different waves.
Wait, what just happened? Now our same game is a plus 252. What just happened?
Did you,
It should be the same.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Probably just because you removed it, probably.
No, I don't. I guess it was showing wrong. I don't know what happened.
You did away team total points and you went under.
Now I have it under, yeah, plus 252, I guess.
so you have that, and then what
I
was
don't
the
know
other-
what happened,
what was
but
the
it was
other
plus
legs?
800.
What was
Huh.
it? So you had money line.
Miami Heat money line, Jimmy Butler to score 25 points.
All right, give me one sec.
Yeah, that makes more sense than the other odd I had. I don't know. It literally said plus 800.
And then
I don't know what.
Jimmy Butler over for my app. It says 25.5.
Yeah,
Maybe it said plus 300 instead
I got
of 8.
plus 252.
Yeah.
is what I got on mine.
So if you bet $10 on that, you win 25-21.
Oh yeah,
It's a pretty good parlay.
riding on the Heat.
We're riding on the Heat, though. I mean, they have to win.
If the Heat win, then all those things.
And I'm
are
riding
likely
on
to
the
happen.
and I'm riding on the fact that 150 teams out there didn't do it before them.
Yeah.
So
Hey, did I not say the 7th seed has never represented the West in the finals?
Yep.
Holds true. Random superstitious stuff.
damn,
Lakers couldn't win.
Yeah, that's true.
damn, ZZ. That
All
has
right.
been Sport Champs. Do not forget, Acting Up is out everywhere, y'all. Dropped an EDM track, made another one today. I'm going to show these guys after this, but be sure to be following me everywhere. Dropping a music video June 23rd. June 23rd, Hit 'em is going to drop everywhere. New music video. It's got Lambos. It's got a bunch of exotic cars. So be sure to check that out. But until then, EDM track, Acting Up, out everywhere. That is it.
All right.
What's up, guys? We just hit 1,500 subs. We're trying to make it 2,000. Help us